Unlike the Rolling Stones, the Beatles rarely objectified women in their songs. I mean, sure, they told Prudence she was beautiful, and I saw her standing there. The way she looked was way beyond compare. And Paul McCartney has sex with Rita at the end of that song. But for the most part, it wasn't, that way. They celebrated women for other qualities than the carnal things. So around the time I worked with Paul McCartney, I did a video for this rapper named Steady B. He had a song called Going Steady. It was a good song. And it also, unlike a lot of rap songs, did not objectify women. It was in praise of women for other qualities than, what you might find, under their skirt or whatever. So I'm doing the video, and I told the guy, Steady B, I said, he's like, why do you want to do this song, you're white. And I said, well, it's a good song and it's good lyrics. I like the way, you talk about love and stuff like that. And he said, yeah, you worked for Paul McCartney. He told me, he's the one who pointed it out. He said, I got that from the Beatles. And I was surprised because I figured most rappers don't really like the Beatles. Anyway, casting it, I hired a woman to be the object of his affection. And she was on the set and he's looking at her. I purposely hired someone who didn't have model looks because I wanted the video to reflect the true sentiments of the song. And Steady B, he looks at the girl, he goes, oh, man, why'd you hire that girl? Because, I guess he didn't think she was very pretty. And I said, well, and I quoted one of his lyrics. I said, because of your lyrics. You said you're looking for a girl with a head on her shoulders. He said, yeah, but not that head. I was like, all right. Unfortunately, he was doing fairly well, but a few years later, I guess he fell on hard times because he was involved in a bank robbery where an officer was killed. Laretha Baird was the name of the police officer who was killed. Now, Steady B's name is Warren McGlone, his real name. And he was driving the getaway car. He didn't even go into the bank. One of his slippery rattlesnake friends there was armed, and when the officer approached them in mid-course of the robbery, he shot her fatally. So they were apprehended pretty quickly. They got caught, which was not good for Steady B. I don't know what happened to the other two guys, but Steady B got a life sentence without parole. And now he's been in jail for 30 years. He was only in his 20s when he went to jail. So now he's in his mid-50s, I suppose. And listen, I know he was wrong. He was the getaway driver, though. He didn't shoot anybody. The law is the law. So I know, he was an accomplice, and if someone's killed, he's complicit equally with them. But still, I don't know. What do you think? Life for driving a car?